we begin. And another day at the cafeteria. Today's a normal day. Going in, it's day one, which means I'm in there early, making the wraps to be served later at lunch. I go to the freezer, grab the frozen chicken strips, stick them in the deep fryer, grab a cutting board, the tortillas, go back, look at what type of wrap I'm making today. Bacon ranch. I go to the fridge to grab some sauce. You know what kind. Ranch. I open the fridge, and in my surprise, there are 7 bottles of ranch. Three of which were open, and all half full. Why? Why, people at the cafeteria, must you have 3 open bottles of ranch on hand at all times? No one ever uses more than 1 bottle of ranch. You never have, more than 2 people using a bottle of ranch. So, why are there 3 bottles of ranch? No one knows. I asked the teacher. They don't know why there are 3 open bottles of ranch. I ask everyone else in the building. No one knows. There's just, it turns out, whenever you're mixing up the pasta salad and you want to add in some ranch, you always got to open up a new one and then pour in half of it. And close it again.
Everyone knows that pasta salad, especially my pasta salad, needs fresh, crispy ranch.
Yes.
This is new bottle every time kind of stuff.
Meanwhile, the bacon ranch wraps, they do not need fresh, crispy ranch.
Their ranch can be non-crispy. It can be stale, wet chips. Moist chips when it's lost all of its crunch and you go to chew it and you are so utterly disappointed in humanity.
Yep. It's just becomes gum as opposed to the crunchy sand.
Like some really bad, vaguely potato-flavored gum.
Yep. Jed, do you have an opinion on this ranch?
I believe that this is an example of a principle I call the reverse pyramid principle, where if you ever have any kind of dishes that are different sizes or shapes, and you have a random assortment of people placing them on top of each other randomly, it will always end up in a reverse pyramid. It will never, if you have random people just adding onto the pile, somehow it will always end up in a reverse pyramid.
Wow.
The biggest thing will always be on the top.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I have observed this through having 4 siblings for a lot of years.
Well, also because I like to annoy you is that I put the plates in the wrong plate. We have a whole bunch of matching plates, and then just the rish-rash of plates, and I just put all the rish-rash in with the matching ones. Sometimes I even shuffle them together, one of each, just to make it hard for people.
I know, but somehow people think it is the best idea to put down a mug, and then to put a small plate on top of the mug, and then to put a large plate on top of the small plate, and then to put a pan on top of the large plate,
Yeah.
and then to put an entire turkey roasting pan on top of the pan.
Yep.
Uh-uh.
Yep.
So if anyone is wondering why life is hard, it's because of Caleb, who keeps putting your plates, the matching in with the unmatching, and keeps putting your pans on top of singular mugs. It is Caleb who is haunting you. Feel very afraid. But I feel like the more open ranch bottles might just be the principal coming in and wanting to send a message. They're like, we are a wealthy school. We have very blessed lives, and we have enough money to have 3 open ranch bottles. That is status among schools.
Well, yeah.
NDSS? Nuh-uh. They got 2 open ranch bottles. We got 3. We're going through ranch that fast.
Well, yes, I could understand that, except all of them were half full. So, unless he just took a large swig of ranch as he came in.
That's what it is. The principal is just coming in after school and just swigging ranch. He's just gulping it down.
Just not even using the open ones, just opening a new one every day.
Opening a new one.
Ranch.
Well, I mean, drinking ew. You don't want to be drinking ranch that students have been in. That would just be too bad. But man, I'm telling you, Principal's just coming in there, taking a swig of ranch. Must be part of his new diet. All these fancy new diets nowadays. Broccoli diet, ranch diet, chicken diet, whatever they're called. So today is the annual Project for Awesome.
Yes.
The
Project-
12th annual, actually.
The 12th, are you sure? I thought it was the 11th annual.
The 12th.
It's the 12th annual Project for Awesome. Project for Awesome is an online fundraiser done by the Vlog Brothers, namely Hank and John Green, and many other volunteers who come together to fundraise money via YouTube to fight against world suck, which is, of course, the suckiness in the world.
Yes, yes.
So they do this fancy thing where they tell all the other YouTubers, and they're like, yo, guys, if we all make videos about our favorite charities, we can take over YouTube. And basically, for like one day a year, they get as many people as they can to make videos about their favorite charities and talk about, like, defeating world suck and helping get money together to do awesome.
Yep.
And they take over YouTube because the front page of YouTube is just like all the popular new videos are just all people talking about charities. And it's like, whoa, power.
Yeah.
It doesn't work all the time anymore because
The algorithm.
there are a lot of YouTubers now.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
they
Like
changed.
a lot.
Yeah, they changed from the front page system to the trending system.
Yeah.
So the trending system favors that kind of thing a bit less.
Yeah.
Because the front page system, I think, worked on subjects.
Mhm.
So if the subject of P4A was the most popular thing on YouTube right now, that would fill the entire front page.
Yeah.
But if the subject of P4A is the most popular thing,
I got it.
You got it.
Why did you jump ship?
Are we still recording?
Let me see. Yep, we're good. We're good. Wow.
Woo!
You have experienced a thing, phone.
Woo, boy!
I'm just gonna like, yeah. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. Hopefully, maybe that doesn't totally destroy the sound quality, and you can still hear us. And that wasn't a horrible thing for people wearing headphones right there.
All right.
if it just totally ruined the sound, good luck, Garrett, editing this.
Good luck to our editor. Oh, at the end of the podcast, I want to do that. I want to say, like, thanks to our editor and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And producer and stuff. And we'll just, like, make up which one of us did things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because not all of those things gets done.
Yeah. Okay. So the Project for Awesome, it happens every year,
Yes.
and
In December.
yeah, and basically they try and take over YouTube for a day by just posting all of the videos, and then getting people to watch all of the videos.
Yes. Because then this money from ads can go to people's favorite charities. But also, the way that more money gets fundraised is there's an actual fundraiser. Like, there's a GoFundMe that you can go
Yeah.
and
Donate to.
donate to.
And I think one of the
then
donations,
charities get money.
and I think one of the donations, I think it's donation prize this year,
Yeah.
is they take pennies and they stamp them into other things because pennies are terrible. So
Yeah.
they take American pennies and they stamp them either with the image that is repeated on the front of Hank Green's novel, An
Yeah.
Absolutely Remarkable Thing, or the image of the late Fireball Wilson Roberts, or
Which is the best one. The
Or-
late Fireball Wilson Roberts is being stamped onto pennies.
or
I want that.
yeah, it's stamped into like a thinner coin, and it's an oval and it's bigger,
Yeah.
so they can fit actual stuff on it. Or DFTBA is on one of them. I think.
Yeah.
There's a light on the hill.
The hill is not on fire, I don't believe. I believe that's just a light.
But it's like flickery. It's cool.
It is flickery. That is true.
It's like someone took a mirror and they aimed it in just the
It-
right angles that our
It
headlights
does look a
reflect
tiny
back
bit
at
like a
us.
fire. It also looks a tiny bit like a tin roof. That's
Oh.
just reflecting the sun.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
that's sad.
But
Either tin roof
I
or
wanted
heliograph.
the hill-
well, it would be
Well,
more
I-
sad if the hill was on fire.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
It's either a tin roof or a heliograph. We don't know which.
One of the two.
It's a video! This is happening!
What?
Woo! We finally discovered video and its thing and it's cool. So
Yay.
so I'm here with Sarah and we're
Hello.
gonna do a new segment called It's All Good in the Woods! That's right.
Woo!
It's all good in our woods. This is gonna be the opposite of a rant video. So we're gonna talk about 5 things that are just awesome and so good and how they are awesome and so good.
So good.
All right, so now we're gonna think of things that are awesome. I've got one.
You do?
Waffles. They're great.
They're amazing.
Waffles are great. You can have them with syrup or with butter or with both,
You can
and it's
use
still
them,
okay.
You can use them as bread for a sandwich.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
They're like pancakes, but they have holes to hold all your syrup and what else? do
Peanut
people-
butter.
Peanut butter. Yeah, that's a little weird,
That's
but
a
our
little
family
weird.
does that. Peanut butter and jam and what else do you put on pancakes? Or waffles,
Whipped
or
cream
both.
sometimes.
Whipped cream. Yes.
Strawberries.
All of them.
Yes.
I like waffles because they're like pancakes, but they can hold more toppings, things.
Stuff.
Also, what some people haven't discovered is when you use something like peanut butter that's thick, you can put it on the top of the waffle and then flip the waffle over and put it on the bottom of the waffle.
What?
Double the peanut butter.
What?
Double the toppings.
And if your parents buy cheap peanut butter that doesn't taste good, you can just put tons of syrup on top.
There you go. Peanut butter and syrup, even if your parents are cheap. So now we need to think of another thing that's awesome.
I got one.
You got one.
Yeah.
What is it?
Eyesight dogs.
Like those dogs that help people who can't see?
Yes. And how good they are and like how they can be trained to like help blind people and disabled people around.
That is awesome.
Yes.
How they can make people who like can't
See?
who can't like see on their own and they could see for them. And they're like an amazing team of seeing and doing all at once.
And a dog.
and also a dog. So good. All right. Now, let's think of another thing. I've got it. Something that's just super duper amazing that we never had, but is also very cool. You know those pneumatic wood splitter things?
No.
It's like a pneumatic splitter. It's like a thing where they take like a cylinder and they like pressurize liquid into it really a lot. And then it pushes a wedge into a piece of wood and it splits it in half.
Like perfectly?
Yes.
Whoa.
It's like doing it with an axe, except for no effort.
We just always do it with an axe.
I know.
We're too lazy to buy one.
We're too lazy to go buy one, and maybe don't want to spend that much money because
Yeah.
they'll cost a lot of money. But still, those are awesome, and they save tons of effort, and they are just epic. How they just split.
Just
They just
perfectly.
split it, and it's just split, like any log.
Boom.
Boom, split.
Split.
Let's think of another one.
Okay. I got one.
What is it?
Charities.
Charities. They are awesome
They are awesome.
because they take money and then they give it to people who need it.
And all the people who donate to them are awesome too.
That's right. Just like the Project for Awesome, which
Yes.
happened like 2 days ago,
Really?
and also a day ago, and also today. Was Rosanna Pansino on the live stream?
Was it
I didn't see her on the live
was
stream.
it GT Live?
P.
remember.
Frey.
Be fair. I
Um,
didn't watch that.
I know that Smarter Every Day was on there, and he was super cool, and he sent dinos to the moon.
What?
He called them Dinonauts. And he took
Dinonauts!
dinosaurs and sent them on a chain drive to the moon. Go watch it. Part 6. Or part 7. Part 6.
Something like that.
Part 6 of the live stream of Project for Awesome on YouTube. Go
Okay.
look it up. P4A, Part
P4A.
6, 2018, Dinonauts.
Dinonauts.
It's hilarious. It's 2 hours of hilarious dinosaurs going to the moon, and it's awesome. And during that 2 hours, they raised $30,000
Wow.
for charities. That is amazing. People donating money to send toy dinosaurs to a toy moon on chain drive, and it's awesome. We need to think of one more thing.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't know what I'm looking at either. All right, let's put that in the bloopers.
Okay. Do you have one yet?
I don't have anything yet. Wait, I think I've got something.
You got something?
Yes. All right, here we go. All right, so something else that's awesome. Home-made herbs, or home-grown herbs,
What?
or herbs. I don't know if it's herbs or herbs, but
I say herbs
herbs.
because then you can name them herb.
that is a great reason to call them herbs. All right, but like when you got a bush in your yard that just like somehow just is sage, and you can just go
Yes.
out and like pick a sage leaf.
And it's so much better than buying like ground dried ones.
I know, so much
Tasty.
better. It tastes better, and just going out and bringing it in and then grinding it, so good. Especially when
fine.
someone else has to make sure the plant doesn't die.
Yeah.
That's just the best. When you can take advantage of other people's homemade herbs.
And just homegrown plants in general are awesome. Our dad grew like 200 tomatoes this summer.
That is a lot of tomatoes.
It was
That's how
a
much time
lot.
it takes to pick those tomatoes. A lot of
A
time.
lot of time.
And a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And also more than one greenhouse.
And a lot of ones molded.
And a lot of mold.
Yes.
So if you want to grow tomatoes, do it. But buy some buckets to
And,
carry moldy tomatoes, and also at least 2 greenhouses.
and maybe not 200 tomato plants.
On second thought, maximum 1 greenhouse. Maybe a little bit unhealthy to have 2 greenhouses. All right, so we're signing off for now,
So
but
good in my wood.
be ready for the next Sol Good in My Woods.
Woo!
Until next time, we will keep being Sol Good in these woods.
These woods,
Peace out.
they good.
Oh, right. So, you guys, there's a statistic that my math teacher told me. Every generation, we lose genetic fitness.
We lose genetic fitness.
Yes. So, we are 98.5% as genetically fit as the last generation.
We're getting genetically less fit.
Yes.
That means that I'm being forcibly made less fit.
No. Your kids will be less fit than you.
Dang it!
I think what
So-
that is the people who are not fit are not dying. So people who have genetic mutations that make them less fit or more prone to obesity aren't immediately dying.
That's true. That's
Which
true.
I would have to say, on the whole, is a good thing, because
Yes.
it means less people are dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
While I admit that there is a certain kind of like, I don't know, like a certain kind of like,
Come on, humanity, kind of thing.
yeah, it's a certain amount of like a come on humanity, but kind of like a natural selection is like kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like super cool that that's the thing for animals, so that animals like keep being awesome.
Yeah.
But I am glad that that humans are getting to live more full lives. But come on, humanity, let's fight that. Let's be fit. Let's be fit things.
Well, no, but it's not like physical fitness. It's a genetic fitness.
So it's like your base level.
Yeah.
We're starting from a lower.
Yeah, but the weird thing about that is if you graph that, it doesn't look that good. Like if you graph like, okay, so let's say a generation is like 25 years. That
Yeah.
sounds about right. So then that's like 4 generations for every 100 years. Let's go back to like Roman times. That's 2,000 years ago ish.
Yeah.
2,000 years ago, that's going to be 4 times 20, which is going to be about 80. That's about 80 generations ago. I'm not going to multiply 98.5 times itself 80 times. But it's pretty like It's like at 50 generations, I think we go down pretty close to like half.
Not great.
Yeah.
Not a great thing.
I mean, don't take my word for it. Go graph it yourself.
Yeah.
But like it's like we are not that fit compared to the Romans.
True. That was probably because the Greeks did that thing where they were like, hey, if baby is strong, leave alive. If baby is weak, kill.
Yes.
Which was not a great practice, but did make them on average stronger.
Yes.
So, you know,
I think what
I
happens.
feel like moving away from that in general is good. Less murdering babies
Yes.
is
Yes.
preferred. However, it is probably affecting our level of genetic fitness.
Yes. And another part of that was it was a study that was done like nowadays. So it was an average of losing 1.5% fitness per generation, but like how do you learn that? Like I don't know what sample size they used, where the sample was even from. Like that is a very flimsy statistic, because I don't think that they like. First of all, how do you measure genetic fitness? And second of all, like that it seems like that there could be some truth to that, or it could just be totally wrong. Like it's
it could be one of those statistics. This happens a lot of time in statistics where people will say something that's incredibly confusing.
yeah.
That could mean 5 different things, but only actually means one very specific thing.
Yeah.
Like when you do a study, it's supposed to come up with a result, and then it comes up with no definitive result. So you just make it sound like you came up with the result, but you actually have no idea.
Or when someone's trying to say something that's counterintuitive to the actual data, so they pick a really specific data point.
Uh-huh.
Like how Garrett keeps telling me you can't draw a conclusion from one data point. It has to be a continuation through multiple data points.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Statistics and data can be sketch.
Yeah. But then again, they can be trustworthy, and it all depends on, like, first of all, I would say the biggest thing is how many people do you get for whatever you're doing, and second of all, what's in common with all of those people, if there is something in common, factor that in some way, if you even can.
It's sample size and outside factors.
Sample size and sample quality are probably, and outside factors are part of that, yeah. It's like, yeah. But statistics are boring. Jed, do you have anything to talk about that's not boring?
Wait! How about a snack?
Ooh!
So, what do you guys think is the proper place and time to bring a veggie platter to a social gathering?
Beach party.
Beach party. Agreed. Veggies on the beach?
But no small children allowed near it. Small being like younger than 3, probably.
Because children could choke on vegetables?
No, because they will kick sand into the ranch.
Agreed. Nothing worse than uncrisp, sandy ranch.
Yep, that's...
I mean, dying would be worse. But a lot of things are not worse than sand in my ranch. But I think one of the things is I see people bring veggie platters to like a potluck, and I'm like, yes, I approve. Some veggies with my meal is good.
Yeah.
Because at a potluck, so often stuff that gets brought is like casseroles and chili.
Yeah.
And it's like, this meal is heavy and almost vegetable-less.
Yeah.
Especially if you consider things the way Mom does and say that a potato, while it is a vegetable, it is also a starch, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. And I would also say that, whoa, that hill looks cool. Secondly,
It does.
Like if you bring a veggie platter, if it's a store-bought veggie platter and it's like good quality, I think that's good. There's also like a weird amount of like bringing what you're worth to a potluck, which sounds wrong when I say it out loud.
Sounds wrong. Yep.
But like there's sort of a social construct of bring food to a potluck. I mean, most of the time when people say we're having a potluck, you cannot bring food, but most people do bring food.
Yeah, there's kind of there's an implication that you should, if
Yeah.
it is possible.
Yes. And a veggie platter is one of those things. It doesn't take a lot of time to prep, so it's
Yeah.
pretty easy, and it's usually pretty cheap. So I think if you do a veggie platter, it's like if I was going to a potluck, then I would do like a veggie platter and like buns, because
Buns.
it's first of all it's bringing two things that together are like enough. It lightens the whole meal. They're easy to prep. Like it's
Yeah. So I feel like the situation where it is not good to bring veggies is if you're going to like, I don't know, this is maybe oddly specific, but like a movie night
oh yeah
or a youth, like some kind of a youth party
yeah.
Yes.
that's like, while it is a chill party and there's like a pretty large amount of snacks, it is not a meal.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah.
like the veggie platter is a little inappropriate. Well, that sounds weird.
Yeah.
The veggie platter is not preferred.
It's not the norm.
Because what you're looking for is like, you're like, I would like some chips, maybe some pretzels,
Yeah.
maybe some Doritos.
Yeah.
Or some
But-
of those really good vegetable fry stick things. You
Oh,
can
Those
buy in a bag.
yes, those
Yeah.
vegetable chip things that are the shape of fries.
Yeah.
Yes, those are choice. But what I would say is that in that situation, if there is veg there, I will probably eat veg. But it's only out of like some kind of pity for the person who brought the veg, because I'm like, none of these teenagers are going to eat the veg. Except for like those couple teenagers who were just born with that magic ability to just like love a specific vegetable
Yeah.
and always want to eat it all the time.
Yeah.
But the rest of the kids, or the rest of the people at the party, are just going to drink the pop and eat the chips.
Mhm.
And that's what they're going to do. Because that's what the social norm is to bring pop and chips and then to eat said pop and chips. But when people bring a veggie platter, I'm just like, why? This is not a meal. We do not need to get our veggies in. We do not need to eat properly. This is the one time. This movie night is my chance to eat popcorn and drink pop and be like, they don't got no veggies at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Come
yeah.
on, son.
I mean, one nice thing about like youth gatherings and such. I mean, well, the one thing I did discover was the taco pizza, which is a pizza, but it has the toppings of a taco, which means there's lettuce on it. Also, punch big and no returns. Punch big and no
Dang it,
returns.
I just got punched.
Okay. So it has veggies on it, but it's mixed in such a way that it tastes like a taco. So you're like eating a pizza, but it tastes like a taco. So, but there's veggies in it, so it's not like a super heavy pizza. Sometimes you have like a meat lover's pizza that just has too much stuff on it, and it's just like, why am I chewing on all of this meat? Like making like the types of meat are usually fine. It's usually that
Yeah.
there's so much on it that it's like just like yeah. Also, pizza now, American pizza nowadays is just it's not pizza. It's not pizza. Pizza was never intended to be a meal. Pizza was intended to be the equivalent of garlic bread and spaghetti. Like it's the side. It's not.
I don't know about that, man, because there are a lot of people who like American pizza. You know?
No, yeah. and
Like, I love American pizza.
American pizza has its place, but Italian pizza also has its place.
Does it really, though? I think it's just like a saucy pita. I think that's like a little saucy naan. Like, that's all. Like, I know that pizzas like came from Italy, but I'm not sure that they can still claim the peak of pizza.
It depends on what you like in pizza.
It depends on what you like, and nowadays it's two different things that
American
we call
pizza,
the same thing.
American pizza is very good at being very heavy,
Yes,
and
True.
Italian pizza is very good at being very light.
and tasty, in my opinion.
Yes. So
Because
Italian pizza will have less meat.
Yeah, it has less of everything. It usually only has like dough, sauce, one meat, one cheese, one veggie. That's it. And they all go together, and they're all really high quality, and they're not covering the whole pizza. They're kind of just like the way they make Italian pizza. You get like a ball of mozzarella, and you like cut off like slices of it that are like half an inch thick,
Yeah.
and then you just like toss them on the pizza. Like you don't even like arrange them or anything. You just put them in random spots, and 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 it's really good mozzarella. It's like made fresh, and it's really good ham that's like been cooked like yesterday or even the day that you're eating it.
Mhm.
So it's really good, high quality, but it's not made to be eaten by itself because it has to be so small because it's such a thing like that.
It does raise the question, like, the real argument between American pizza and Italian pizza, I think, comes down to this. Should food be art? Like, on a grand scale? Because I feel
Yeah.
like that's what Italians think pizza is. And they're not necessarily wrong. Pizza can be art, but should pizza be art? I feel like food, maybe not food should come before art, but I feel like if it is a food, it must be a food first.
Yes.
And an art second.
Yes. And by art, do you mean the food looks good, or the act of making the food is like really hard, or like what do you mean?
I mean that the person who makes the pizza,
Uh-huh.
because they made the pizza, considers themselves an artist. If the pizza making man says, I am an artist, when someone asks him what he does, and then says, I make pizza, that is what I would consider, like, them to be claiming that it is art.
Okay, yeah.
Like Japanese sushi chefs.
I mean,
You will not meet some kid who works at Pizza Hut. Okay, you might find a kid who works
Yeah,
at Pizza
yeah.
Hut in the States who will say that they are an artist. But it is not because they cook pizza. It's because they make art separate from cooking pizza.
yeah, I mean, like, it's a weird thing because I think any craft can be considered an art. But it, like, I also think that the part of a craft becoming an art is you becoming so fluent in it that you, like, I'm trying to think of the right words. Like, you becoming so fluent in it that it's no longer about how to do something, but how to do something well. Like, instead of it being let's make a good tasting pizza, it's let's make the best pizza I can make. Instead of it being let's make a table, it's let's make the perfect table to play board games at.
Yes,
Like-
the measurement of the quality of the craft is no longer measured by the craft's majority use.
Yeah.
It's measured by the actual entirety of the quality of the craft.
Yeah.
So in the case of pizza, it's no longer measured in just the taste of the pizza, it's measured in the experience of looking at, holding, smelling,
Yeah.
and eating the pizza.
Yeah. And maybe even to some extent ordering and serving and being in the atmosphere of where you eat the pizza for some places.
At a pizzeria.
Yes.
Almost like Japanese sushi chefs.
Yeah, yeah. Because some of them have, like, whole atmospheres and stuff, and, like, I mean, some of it is, like, there are some sushi chefs that are, like, performers who, like, throw the sushi in the air and then, like, cut it into a whole bunch of pieces. But then there's also people who, like, are really, really good at, like, cutting the thinnest slice of fish off of a fillet or something like that. Like, that's, yeah. And there's a difference between that.
Also, fun fact, sushi is the name of the kind of rice that they make. It's not the name of
The rolls.
fish wrapped in rice, wrapped in,
Seaweed.
Yeah.
Basically, seaweed.
so if there's that kind of rice in it, it's sushi. That's why there can be tempura sushi and tuna sushi.
Also, I don't like the idea of sushi. Like, it's a cool idea. It's like rice plus things from the sea. It's a cool idea, but realistically, why are you giving me a piece of raw fish wrapped in rice? Like, give me a piece of cooked fish.
Not all sushi is raw. Some of it's cooked, some of it
Yeah,
isn't.
yes, and I know that, but like, I don't want to eat a chunk of pink salmon, no matter how rare it is, wrapped in rice, if it's not cooked. Like, I just like, it's like, yeah, so,
That's definitely also how I eat sushi. I just sit there and make strange noises at the sushi. Questioning all of its life decisions.
the one time I made sushi, I brought it to a friend's birthday party, because the birthday party was right after the cooking class I had, and I didn't get to taste it. 'Cause everyone else ate my sushi. Marcus and Lucas got to eat my sushi. I didn't.
Dang it. Gotta be quick, man.
Yep.
Gotta be quick.
I was like,
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Warning. I feel like there are different like levels of things you bring to a party.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
if you bring chips and you put them in a bowl, like that's a free for all.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
you no longer have dibs
Like,
on those chips.
if you leave them in the bag, or like if you're holding them the whole time,
If
then they're yours.
If you have the bag open and you're holding it in your hand,
Yeah.
and you're letting other people take chips out of the bag, and
Then-
you're not giving them the bag,
Yeah.
you still have like a kind of unconscious authority, ownership over the chips.
Yes.
Like if you left, you would take the rest of the chips with you.
Mhm.
I feel like that's like when ownership is lost, is when you would leave the remainder of the food that you brought at the party
Yeah.
when you leave.
Yeah.
So I think that like if you bring something like sushi and you have sushi, it's almost certainly remains in your ownership.
Mm.
Like unless it's a lot of sushi. Like unless you're hauling like a party's worth of sushi. If someone walks into a party with sushi, I might eat like one, like if I feel like sushi and they're offering it to me, I might eat like one roll. Not a roll, because the whole thing's a roll, but like
Yeah.
one
One
of those,
piece.
like
Yeah.
a disc.
Yeah.
I might eat one discus of sushi, but I'm not gonna eat like more than that, because that's this person's food. It'd be like if I brought like a peanut butter and jam sandwich and then ripped it in half and asked you if you wanted some.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, that's yours. I'm not, even if I like
Well,
peanut butter and jam sandwiches, I'm not gonna take that.
Well, yeah, but then there's also the like what kind of situation are you talking about? Because if it's like a potluck situation where everyone's putting down the food,
Yeah.
and they just put down a platter of sushi,
Then-
then it's go for it.
Yeah,
Like,
of course. Yeah.
Like, of course, the normal rules apply of don't take all of the food, but
Mhm.
like, yeah,
I think that it has to do with the skill involved in making it.
yeah,
And also the relative cost.
Yeah.
Because if there's a platter of egg salad sandwiches at a buffet,
yeah,
like at
Go
a
for it.
potluck, then like go after it, man. Because you know that like obviously someone put work into making them,
yeah,
but it wasn't like they had to slave over it or they had to spend $13,000 on the knife they used to make it.
yeah, and they most likely still have the supplies to make more of it at home. So if they really want to have more of it, then they can just make more. But if it's like sushi with like fresh pink salmon and stuff like that, it's like that's like, first of all, I wouldn't eat pink salmon, but like raw salmon, I should say. But like there's that point at which it's like, oh, they made this special just for this occasion. I should only take a few so that everyone gets to try some. Yeah.
I think that the line should be drawn like when the cooking of that thing is like a saleable trade. Like, because if you can cook really good sushi, you could like become a sushi chef.
Yeah.
Like that's a sellable trade. Like
Yeah.
you can have the job where all you do is cook sushi.
Yeah.
You can't have the job where all you do is make egg salad sandwiches.
Yeah.
No one will pay you enough money to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the rules of a potluck, in case anyone was wondering.
Have either of you ever seen that one thing they make in Japan where it looks like a bun? It doesn't taste like a bun, but it looks like a bun, and it's multicolored. So it's blue, or it's pink, or it's orange, or it's green. Have you seen those?
What is it?
Varying sizes. They're made of a kind of dough
But what is it?
And they're really
Pink,
good. I don't remember what they're
green.
called. They're made with hammers that the head looks like it's put on wrong.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
You don't know what I'm talking
No,
about.
explain.
I don't remember what it's called. It's this thing that they make in Japan.
Uh-huh.
You put it in a container shaped vaguely like a barrel,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and then you take a hammer, except the head of the hammer is moved all the way to one side.
Okay.
So
yeah.
it's like an axe with a hammer head on it instead of an axe blade.
Okay.
And you smack it lots. And then there's someone else there who's kneading it while not getting hit by the hammer you're smacking it with.
Oh yeah,
It
that
looks,
thing.
yes, it looks very
Yeah,
impressive because
yeah.
also always the stuff is like pink or like a neon green. It's never like red.
Is this one of those oddly satisfying videos?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's been put in a lot of those because it's like, first of all, that is a craft that is a two-person craft, which is an amazing thing to be in.
Yeah.
To be in a situation like that, because you like the dude who's kneading it, like, and they're in a rhythm, and they both have the rhythm in their heads, and it's
Or
and the
sometimes
dude
the
like
guy who's
kneads
kneading is
5
calling
times,
the
and then he gets out of the way just in time for the hammer to come down and back up, and then he kneads 5 times, but he's doing it so fast because they've gotten down the rhythm so well that
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the kneader will be calling out the rhythm.
yeah,
So the kneader will be like yelling at the top of his lungs rhythmically.
just be like ha, huh, cha, huh, cha, huh, or something
And,
like that. I
and
don't know.
sometimes,
Japanese.
depending on how fast they're trying to do it, they'll be kneading and hammering at exactly the same time. So he'll just like have his hands in a place where he's not the other guy's not hammering them, and
Yeah.
he'll be kneading it into the way of the hammer.
Now I'm imagining like a mortar and pestle, but you said a barrel.
Like a barrel,
Like a huge, massive
not
barrel.
like an oil drum, like probably 2 or 3 feet deep and like a foot, like 18 inches or 2 feet wide.
Uh-huh.
A bit bowl-shaped. It's a bit domed at the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
And it is entirely full of like bread dough-ish consistency, pink stuff.
Oh, it's entirely full. I thought you
Almost entirely full.
I
It's
thought
not
you were
empty.
talking about like a one loaf size just thrown in a barrel.
Nah,
and
they
it's
make
just,
like
tossing
30,
it around
They make
inside
like
the barrel.
30 sheets of fancy biscuits,
Yeah.
which I've heard these are one of the best snack foods in the world.
Yeah, I could imagine that because like those are some dudes who know how to do it. And if you're going hard, and if you're making biscuits hard enough to get the timings down for kneading it with a hammer and not hitting the other dude, then you've obviously got the recipe down so it tastes good.
Also, this is like a sledgehammering hammer. It's made
Yeah.
entirely out of wood, but it's like that size.
Yeah.
It's really cool to watch, and then apparently they're like really, really, really good.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Let's talk about Veggietales.
Don't you
Let's review
mean Veggietales? Okay, so
specifically. Let's review the Madame Blueberry
okay.
Veggietales.
Should we explain Veggietales, or have we already done that? I think we've already done that. They're talking
I'll
veggie.
do a quick explanation. It's vegetables, except for they can talk, and it's a children's biblically based show, a TV show / movies as well. And it's like Adventures of Veggies, but then at the beginning and the end, they cut back to this kitchen, like as if the
Yeah.
veggies are in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like there's a computer in some episodes, and a toaster, and a sink, and
But they're like
The
in
tales
a
of veggies.
But they're like in a castle, and then they walk through a field, and they're like in a castle, and then they're in a field, and there's a cut, and then they're in a kitchen.
Yeah. It cuts from Bible stories and biblically based other stories to kitchen.
Yes. But to be fair,
And all of the characters are vegetables.
And you
Different
never see the
vegetables.
floor of the kitchen. It's always the counter. You
It
have
also-
no idea if that floor is entirely neon pink,
Yes.
because you never see anything on the floor.
It also might be lava.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like the the show could have been created because a Christian 5-year-old got a hold of the googly eyes, sparkly glue, and the vegetable drawer all at the same time. Decided to do some stuff. But yeah. Okay, so Madame Blueberry. Quick plot overview. Madame Blueberry is sad because she's blue, and she has two main peeps. Also, they reuse so each of the characters has an actual name, which is basically the first name you ever hear them called by, and then in stories they play characters. So in this story, Larry and Bob, Larry the cucumber and Bob the tomato, were playing two people who were kind of who I think lived next door to Madame Blueberry.
We gotta speed this up a bit.
Okay.
We're gonna get to where we're going pretty fast.
And they were just kind of taking care of her. And then she was like, "I'm so sad." And then these people came over and were like, "You need stuff to not be sad." And she was like, "Yes, this is obviously correct. I trust you." And then they went to this big super mall, bought all of this stuff, and all of it was automatically shipped to her house, basically. Because instead of drones, they had little people driving shopping carts along to her house. And then they realized the problem as they were sitting in the cafeteria and they saw her house, which is a tree house, I should have said. And they're lifting something with a crane up to her house, but the crane is in her house. So it's bending the whole tree at 90 degrees. And then right when the thing gets inside, it just flings, and the whole house part of the tree just comes flying off, and then it lands next to the shopping mall, and Madame Blueberry's like, "Well, my house is destroyed." Turns out stuff didn't make me happy.
And then an asparagus comes up with a red foam dodgeball.
Oh yeah.
And goes, "I have a ball. I am content."
Yes. Yes. That is the moral of the entire story.
Moral of the story is, buy a red ball, become an asparagus, be content.
Yep. So,
I would say that the moral, that consumerism will not make you happy, 5 out of 5 stars.
yes, definitely.
The unrealisticness of the crane craning something into the treehouse while the crane is in the treehouse, not as many stars.
And
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the weight apparently coming off of it when it put it in the treehouse, even though it's grounded to the treehouse. If it put it in the treehouse,
I can't remember if
the tree wouldn't spring back.
The rope might have snapped or something right when they were trying to get it into the treehouse. But for some reason, the treehouse sprang back. Also, it was one of those moments where it's "Oh no, my house just got destroyed because it got flung by a tree," and they're like, "Yeah, but the supports are still standing. It's just gonna," and it just fell apart more. And it's just
The entire tree just exploded.
yeah,
It's
no, but it's like when it's still okay, and then it just gets broken even more, and it's it's not fixable at all. There's no hope. Yeah, it's her treehouse gets flung, and then it lands, and it still looks like a house. It's crooked a little bit, but it still looks like a house. And then the Larry's like, "You could probably still live in this. You'll be closer to the shopping mall and everything." And then the roof just caves in, and it's "Oh, whoops."
By the way, I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly. I think it is actually a house a 5-year-old would draw. On a tree a 5-year-old would draw.
Yep, about that, yeah. As we said, 5-year-old Christian gets a hand of some glitter glue, googly eyes, and vegetables. You make a children's cartoon series out of that.
So, if we were going to describe Madame Blueberry, the Veggietales show, with 3 words, we try to distinguish it from every other thing in existence by describing it with 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Sad blueberry.
You win, right?
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, okay.
That is some skill right there.
Okay. I'm gonna try and do the moral because
Depressed anthropomorphized fruit.
Okay, wait. Consumerism, tree houses, vegetables. Yeah, we need a word for veggies and fruits together.
Be content. Dodgeball. All right, there are 3 attempts at summing it up in 3 words.
Comment below who you think won. It was Jed.
It was Jed. But still, comment below what you think. Go and watch Madame Blueberry on your free time because it is funny at times, boring at times, sad at times, and just straight up ridiculous at times.
And it's like shorter than this podcast, I think.
And I'm almost certain it's shorter than this podcast.
Yep.
Ciao.